Hello friends, today's video is a guide on how to use the brand new Varlamore prayer method. This is a little more complicated than just using bones on an altar, but it's a lot more chill than using the chaos altar in the wilderness. This method involves using blessed bone shards and blessed wines on the libation bowl in Varlamore. This is located in Tiamat, the little village on the snowy mountain. For this method, you mainly just need blessed bone shards and jugs of wine. Alternatively, you can use jugs of sunfire wine for a bit more XP. You can optionally use zealot robes to save some of your bone shards, and graceful is recommended, especially if you aren't AFKing. First, in order to get blessed bone shards, there are multiple methods. Some activities around Varlamore have a chance of dropping bone shards or items that can be converted into them, which are sun-kissed bones and blessed bone statuettes. You can mine bone shards from calcified ore, which I have a guide on by the way. This gives about 3k bone shards per hour, or if you have a lot of bones banked from Slayer or bossing, you can bless these and chisel them into bone shards. Sun-kissed bones and the blessed bone statuettes are already blessed, so you can just chisel them right away. To get blessed wine, you just need regular wine, which you can make yourself or buy for pretty cheap at various shops around the game, and bless them on the exposed altar. To make sunfire wines, you need to use sunfire splinters on a regular, not blessed wine with a pestle and mortar in your inventory. You can get sunfire splinters from various activities around Varlamore, but the fastest way to obtain them is to do just wave 1 of the Colosseum. This takes about a minute and a half to complete and gives you 100 sunfire splinters, so about 4k per hour. Then you take the sunfire wines to the exposed altar to bless them. Once you have your supplies, here is how you get prayer XP from them all. First, take your bone shards and some wines to the Tiamat, or just noted bones if you don't have shards yet. Run south to the exposed altar. If you're low on bone shards and want to make more, you can bring them to this NPC near the altar and use the noted bones on him to unnote them for 10 GP each. It's best to make all your shards first. You need 400 per wine, so if you have 22 wines, you'll need 8,800 bone shards and can make these first, then bank to grab your wines. Take your bones to bless them at the exposed altar and chisel them into bone shards. This altar also blesses your wines. Also, you can't bank the blessed wines, so you have to make them each trip. Fearless only unnotes bones, so you have to grab more wines from your bank after you run out. Once you have your bone shards and blessed wines, run northeast to this northern building, and inside is a small room with the libation bowl. Here you can click on this to sacrifice your wine first, which then allows you to sacrifice 400 bone shards for prayer XP. You do 100 at a time and can't use any less, and this gives you 500 prayer XP, or 600 if you use sunfire wines. All you really have to do is click once and press space to go through the dialogue, and it can be completely AFK, or you can spam click it for faster XP. Same with chiseling bones, it can be AFK or you can manually chisel them to be more efficient. Sacrificing bone shards uses up 2 prayer points each time, so you'll have to restore your prayer points every so often. There is a building with an altar not too far away. Also, you can right-click and check the libation bowl to see how many more bone shards you can use. It saves the wine you sacrifice, so you can get your 400 bone shards worth before using another wine. And when you've used up all your wine, you just teleport out to bank, grab more wine, and travel back. I tested out a couple of trips just to get an idea of the XP rates. First, I completely AFK'd chiseling and sacrificing the bone shards, and this took 13 minutes. Then I spam clicked everything, and this took 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Also, this made me run out of run energy, so if you plan on manually clicking, I highly recommend using graceful. Both trips I used 8,800 bone shards and 22 wines. You could fit more in your inventory if you bank the chisel and GP, AFK or have less teleport items. So AFKing would be about 4.5 trips per hour or 200,250 XP per hour. And manually clicking would be 10.5 trips per hour, so about 467k XP. Although some bones give more shards, it wouldn't help XP rates that much because you use exactly 400 shards per wine. So if I were to manually click for a full hour, I'd use up about 92,400 bone shards. Sunfire wines give even more XP, so since I used 8,800 shards per trip, with Sunfire wines it would be about 554k XP manually clicking. However, that doesn't account for the time spent gathering Sunfire splinters. Comparing this to other methods, this is only better XP per hour than the Chaos Altar if you use Sunfire wine, and is worse XP per hour than the Gilded Altar. Of course, this is just an estimate based on 2 trips I did. Let me know if you want to see me try out full hours of this method in a future video, but you probably want to save on bones and get better XP per bone used, not just good XP per hour. In that case, it's in between Gilded Altar and Chaos Altar. Gilded Altar is 252 XP per dragon bone, while this method is 290 or 348 with Sunfire wines. And the Chaos Altar is an average 504 XP per dragon bone if you don't lose any. It's also unique in that the bone shards, sun-kissed bones, and the bone statuettes are only usable for this method, but whether you decide to chisel your bones for this is up to you and probably how much you hate the wilderness. So in conclusion, this is a good alternative prayer method, but doesn't break the meta. That's all for this video. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching and see you all next time.